Yo, what is happening, people? How we doing? We got some craziness going on throughout the trade deadline day today, and now we got some even more crazy stuff going on because there's still stuff filing in here for injury news. So that is fantastic. Tyler Hero now listed as questionable. That's a big piece of news that just came out. DeAndre Bembry getting waived by the Nets. That's going to impact their rotation even further. We got Cade Cunningham ruled out. So the news keeps filing in. We had some big trades today. James Harden headed to the Sixers. We got Kristaps Porzingis headed to the Wizards. So been a crazy day for sure. And we're going to break this thing down. I got all my latest projections in. We should be pretty dialed in. Talk about some DraftKings, talk about some FanDuel. If you have any questions, guys, please do leave them in the chat. I will gladly help you out and answer those. And then if you enjoy the stream, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload, guys. And I'm just going to give this a quick refresh on both websites because of this craziness coming through. Make sure that everything's up to date here. And then we'll get started. So, we're going game by game as always. First game, we got Memphis taking on Detroit as far as the total in this game. This game right now comes in with a 224.5 over under 11.5 point spread in favor of the Memphis Grizzlies. So, Memphis expected to win this one very easily. No surprise there. Detroit's one of the worst teams in the league. And then we just got confirmation that there is no Cade Cunningham. So, obviously, that's going to just factor into the blowout narrative even more here on the Detroit Pistons side. So, yeah, just a little quick refresh there. It still is an 11.5 point spread. As far as anyone that I'm looking to in this game overall, I mean, Ja Morant's always going to be a viable pay-up option. Once again, though, just the blowout's a little bit scary for me. As far as him being my top pay-up option, not too sure I want to go there. I think there's some other options I'd rather be going to on this slate tonight. I do think he's a decent play overall, and we do have a lot of value that we'll talk about as we go along the slate here. But I just think that I'd rather be going to some pieces on the other side of this game, actually. I mean, I think Jeremiah Grant's going to be a fantastic play now with there being no Cade Cunningham. His usage should be through the roof. He has a 6-1 price tag here. Playing around 30 minutes a game. Very good fantasy point producer on the season. Looking at his fantasy point production, putting up exactly 1 DK point per minute. I've got him projected to play 33 minutes in this one for that reason. You know, looking like a really great play for me on the Detroit side of things. With them dealing with no Cade Cunningham, some other guys being out. Certainly want to be taking advantage of that. And then Frank Jackson at 3-4 is also another guy that's looking pretty decent to me. Isaiah Stewart at 5-4 for Detroit. Corey Joseph at 4-4. So a lot of these Detroit guys, with them being so short-handed, we know Corey Joseph's going to play a lot of minutes, most likely at a 4-4 price tag. Hamidou Diallo is only 4-8. He's going to get a big bump up with there being no Cade Cunningham. And he's a very good fantasy point producer. So, I mean, mainly on the Detroit side, honestly, Isaiah Stewart at a 5-4 price tag does look pretty great here. As far as his expected run and what he's been playing as of late, he's been playing right around 30 minutes. I've got him projected to play 29, putting up 0.87 DK points per minute at this price tag. That's going to look, really good. So I like Isaiah Stewart here. And overall, yeah, I mean, all these Detroit guys, honestly, the Washington side's providing a lot of value for us as well, with there being no Spencer Dinwiddie and no Bradley Beal now. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But overall, I think this is mainly a game I'm looking to go to the Detroit side for some value to be fitting in some pay-up options. Like I said, Isaiah Stewart, Corey Joseph at 4-4, and Hamidou Diallo, Jeremiah Grant. Loading up with some of those guys. Kelly Olynyk off the bench is only 3-7. Like I said, Frank Jackson at 3-4 actually looks pretty good to me as well. If you want to go there. Looking at his price tag and shooting guard eligibility, he's playing around 25 minutes a game. As far as his overall fantasy point production, for Mr. Frank Jackson on the season, he's putting up 0.73 DK points per minute. Can't really shoot the 3-ball when he gets hot, though. I mean, he can rack up some points in a real hurry, so I'd definitely be willing to go some Frank Jackson in my tournament lineups. And then Memphis, I mean, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, Ja Morant are your 3 main candidates. It's pretty obvious. They're the ones that you're looking to go to. It's just a question of, do they get you there in the blowout? I mean, Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson, certainly willing to load it up on the Detroit defense. We know is not good. We know that the Memphis Grizzlies do have a 117 implied total. So that's all good and well. It's just a matter of, do they pull the plug on it early, and do they not get any fourth quarter run or something like that? If that's going to be the case with those Memphis guys, you're not going to be too happy if you play them. So that's the risk. That's the risk that you're running. But yeah, Brooklyn taking on Washington. Second game on the slate. There is no more James Harden in Brooklyn. He is gone to Philadelphia in exchange for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond. We just got confirmation that they're going to waive DeAndre Bembry. So there's no Montrezl Harrell now on the Washington side. He got traded to the Hornets. So few moving parts here in this Washington game. But for me, I mean, mainly the big piece of news here and some of the top value plays on the slate is going to be Raul Neto and Corey Kispert at 3-1 and 3K now. With there being no Bradley Beal and with there being no Spencer Dinwiddie, got traded as well. Raul Neto, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Corey Kispert, Kyle Kuzma, Thomas Bryant. All these guys are going to be looking like really good value plays, and the Washington side is definitely the side that you want to be loading up on for value tonight. Raul Neto's only 3-1. He's putting up 0.75 DK points per minute on the season, and my projections right now, I've got him projected to play 30 minutes. That's going to make him a really good play. Corey Kispert's the minimum salary over here on DraftKings. Once again, looking like one of the top value plays on the slate. He has shooting guard and small forward eligibility, putting up 0.63 DK points per minute on the season at this minimum salary. Once again, I have him projected to play around 30 minutes, so that's going to be really good. Thomas Bryant could see a tick up in minutes now with there being no Montrezl Harrell to back him up, so I think that's really interesting. Because when you're looking at the Washington side right now, there's no more Montrezl Harrell, and Daniel Gafford continues to be out as well. So for me, I think Thomas Bryant's going to probably see a tick up in minutes here, and that makes him really intriguing at his current price tag. He's only 3-3. I've got him projected to play 25 minutes, putting up 0.87 DK points per minute on the season. So another piece of value you could be looking to on the Washington side that I'd be willing to load up on this slate tonight. So Kentavious Caldwell-Pope at 3.5. He's putting up 0.73. I mean, the obvious guy, there's all this value, but obviously Kyle Kuzma now just becomes a usage monster. He's only 7.4. He's put up 22 and 17 the last 2 times out. Hasn't had the greatest of games. But this is his team now. There's not going to be anyone. There's no Spencer Dinwiddie. There's no Bradley Beal. Kyle Kuzma's usage is going to be through the roof. And he's certainly someone that I want to be loading up on. And the same can be said on the other side of this game. Now that there's no more James Harden, this is the Kyrie Irving show. Kevin Durant continues to be out with an injury. Kyrie put up 59 DraftKings points last time. I think we can continue to see him really do that. With there being no more James Harden, I think his assist upside goes up a lot here. He put up 11 assists last time out, 27 points. We're going to see a lot more assists out of him, a lot more scoring, a lot more usage for the Brooklyn Nets. With there being no more James Harden, no Kevin Durant. Kyrie's going to take on a big role here, and Kyrie's going to be a great payoff option on this slate tonight. Patrick says, what's up, everyone? Sorry I'm late. No worries, Patrick. Welcome into the chat. How you doing today, man? Kyrie, so going to be a great play. And then some other guys we're looking to on the Brooklyn side. I mean, Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, once again, guard positions. No more James Harden. They're going to get a bump up in their usage. 108.25 implied total for their side isn't exactly the greatest, I will say. But just keep in mind also, I'm gonna be up to my projections as we go along this. We just got confirmation that there is no more DeAndre Bembry. So that's another guy that's going to be taken out of the equation here for the Brooklyn Nets. That is going to be taking up less of the usage in the rotation. So definitely some Brooklyn guys you can be looking to tonight. Bruce Brown is the biggest guy for me. He's only 3.7 over here, and I think his role is really gonna excel forward here at 3.7 price tag. Played 32 minutes last time. Only put up 9 DraftKings points. That's terrible, but I do think that we could see him kind of take a step forward here, and I'm willing to take some risks. They're gonna try to have to develop him. Some of these guys are gonna have to step up into bigger roles now. With there being no James Harden, and I think Bruce Brown is one of them. He's a great candidate to do so, especially with there being no DeAndre Bembry. So Miami taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Next game on the slate. This game comes in with a 218 over-under. It's a 4.5 point spread in favor of the Miami Heat, so expect to stay pretty close here. As far as the guys we're looking to go to in this game, we just did get confirmation that Tyler Hero is going to be listed as questionable now. CJ McCollum expected to make his debut for the New Orleans Pelicans. I do think that's going to be, obviously a negative to some of these guys in the rotation. So, Brandon Ingram's going to take a hit in his usage. I think the biggest guy is Devontae Graham at 5'2". He probably takes a hit in his usage in a pretty extreme manner. So, not really liking that too much. But I think it's going to be the Jonas Valanciunas, CJ McCollum, and Brandon Ingram show. It's going to be kind of the big three for the New Orleans Pelicans now. They're going to be taking on the usage. The problem is taking on a Miami Heat team that's like one of the biggest pace-down matchups in the league, and it's really not that great. And now these price tags don't really look the greatest with all these 3 guys being factored in. I think their price tags might come down a little bit the next slate out. So for me, probably going to not be too intrigued here. The Miami side, where things get interesting, though, is that Tyler Hero listed as questionable. Like I said, being that he was downgraded from probable to questionable, that's not really too good for the likelihood that he suits up. So I think Max Struss and Gabe Vincent become much better plays here on this slate tonight, and guys that I'd be looking to go to a lot more. Of course, with all this fantastic value we have with the Washington side and the Detroit side, with some of the acquisitions, Kate Cunningham being out, etc. You know, they don't look like quite the best pieces of value on the slate. And honestly, for me, if I'm going to anyone in this game, I'm just looking to load up on some Kyle Lowry and some Jimmy Butler, with there being no more Tyler Hero expected, and Bam Adebayo. The New Orleans Pelicans are not good defensively. The Miami side definitely gets a much better matchup here rather than the New Orleans Pelicans side. But overall, honestly, I'm not too intrigued. I mean, it's probably Jimmy Butler for me, and outside of that, nothing too much. There's going to be a game, the late game, that I have a lot of interest in. We'll talk about that. And I like this Raptors-Rockets game. So for me, this is a game I'm not really wanting to prioritize too much. Camilla says, Portis or Mitch Robinson on DFS tonight? I think I'd have to go with Bobby Portis there. I mean, Bobby Portis is in a really fast up-tempo game environment. We're going to get to that when we get there. We still haven't talked about the New York Knicks and Golden State Warriors game, but the Golden State Warriors are the #1 team defensively in the league. So just off the top of my head, I got it with Bobby Portis there. Toronto taking on Houston. As far as the over-under in this game comes with a 223 over-under. It's a 7-point spread in favor of the Toronto Raptors, so expected to hopefully stay close here. You know, that's not a terrible spread for a Raptors team. That's definitely way better than a Houston Rockets team tonight. So I'm hoping this game stays close, because we know the Houston Rockets are really bad defensively in this game. There is no Fred VanVleet tonight, which is huge. That's going to be a huge bump up in usage to a couple guys on this team. But, I mean, most notably the starters for this squad. So we're really taking a look to a Pascal Siakam, a OG Anunoby, a Scotty Barnes, a Gary Trent. Those 4 guys I really want to be locking in on tonight. Taking on this squad that is not good defensively in the Houston Rockets. So loading up on Gary Trent, who's now going to become the point guard in this offense, with there being no Fred VanVleet, makes a lot of sense for me tonight. Someone that I certainly want to get a lot of exposure to, and the same can be said for the rest of these Toronto Raptors guys. I mean, looking at my Patreon defensive half-court putbacks tool over here for my premium content, you can see that Houston ranks dead last in the league defensively, 30th overall, 27th in half-court points per play rank, 20th in offensive rebounding percentage rank, 27th in half-court percentage of plays rank, 21st in putbacks. Like, they are not good at anything. Naturally, they're ranked dead last in the league in points per possession rank, so I think that kind of explains it in itself. And then you take Fred VanVleet out of the equation. I want all the Gary Trent tonight. I want all the Pascal Siakam. I want all the OG Anunoby, all the Scotty Barnes. Those 4 guys, you know, be loading up on them. Be really confident about it. And then running it back on the other side, it's pretty obvious for me. It's Christian Wood. He's the guy that's really going to have the big game if this game does stay close. He's obviously going to be my top pay-up option on the Houston side. Always will be, followed up by Kevin Porter. Those are the 2 guys that have the most consistent minutes, most consistent usage, and those are the 2 guys I'm looking to run it back with it in this game if I think the game does stay close. The other Houston guys, not quite as solidified in their minutes. I mean, you could play a Jayshawn Tate, who has started to see around 32 minutes a game. He'd be the next option that I would certainly be willing to. Jalen Green, maybe finally starting to see some more solid minutes. Those would definitely be the 4 guys I'm mostly looking to prioritize. Then you get down into the Garrison Matthews, the Josh Christophers of the world. Certainly viable. Once again, a little bit more inconsistent. If I'm having to go with one of those guys, Garrison Matthews, you know, he's seeing right around 30 minutes a game. So don't hate it. And those would be the guys that I'm looking to run it back with. But the Toronto side looking fantastic in this game. So I want to be loading up on those Toronto guys. We know the minutes are going to be there. The usage is going to be there with no Fred VanVleet. And I definitely want to be capitalizing on that tonight. LA Clippers taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Next game on the slate. No more Kristaps Porzingis in Dallas. That's going to make Luka Doncic just, you know, a usage beast. Could become one of the top, if not the top fantasy point producers in the league now. 215.5 over under. It's a 6.5 point spread in favor of Dallas. And with no Kristaps, it's pretty simple. It's Luka's going to become a phenomenal play. And one guy that people really weren't capitalizing on enough when Kristaps was out is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is actually the second guy that really benefits the most here. I don't think a lot of people know that. He's kind of the guy you're looking to outside of Luka on the Dallas Mavericks side. As far as some of the bigs that might benefit from this trade away and some more minutes and all that stuff, I mean, we're going to see a lot more of the Dorian Finney-Smith, Dwight Powell combination in that front court. Maxi Kleber, I think, as well. Marquise Chris off the bench. Just looking at the run that Dwight Powell's been receiving with there being no Kristaps Porzingis as of late at a 4-4 price tag, he's been playing right around like 35 minutes in competitive games. So I do think that's worth taking a look at a 4-4 price tag on this slate tonight. Dwight Powell, you know, he can be a little bit inconsistent. Not exactly my favorite guy to be playing in daily fantasy sports, but he does put up 0.79 DK points per minute. And at this 4-4 price tag, he does look like a pretty great play for me. Followed up by Jalen Brunson. Like I said, I think Marquise Chris does see a little bit more minutes. He's looking like a decent play for me in my projection model overall. But for the most part, Dwight Powell, Jalen Brunson, Maxi Kleber at 4K, not looking terrible, I will say. So Maxi Kleber, another guy. We know Maxi Kleber can really shoot it from behind the three-point arc when he does get hot. He only has center eligibility, which is a little bit scary to me. But if you want to go there, it's tournament viable. But mostly just looking to load up on some Jalen Brunson, some Luka Doncic, some Dwight Powell. But I mean, mostly it's Luka. Everything's going to flow through Luka. There's no guessing game with him. These other guys, it's a little bit of a guessing game. They're more tournament plays. But we know the usage is going to be there for Luka Doncic, so I love that. Running it back on the other side with the LA Clippers, they have a brand new look team now. You have Norman Powell on this squad, who only played 23 minutes last time out, 24 the time before. He's been involved in some blowouts. Kind of getting accustomed with the new team here. I do think that it's going to be a lot of Norman Powell, Marcus Morris usage with this first unit. Robert Covington off the bench. I really don't like targeting these LA Clippers right now. They're really inconsistent with their minutes. They're very unpredictable. I think there's some other spots on the slate that we would much rather go to. So for me, the Clippers side, I really don't want to be targeting too much, to be honest with you. It's a little bit scary for me. I'm not really feeling too confident about anything here. And, yeah, just got to be honest. I really don't like targeting this Clippers team right now. So I'm mostly looking to load up on that Dallas high usage with Luka Doncic. That's about it. New York Knicks taking on the Golden State Warriors. This game comes in with a 217.5 over-under. It's a 9-point spread in favor of the Golden State Warriors. So Golden State, possibly could turn this game to a blowout. New York Knicks really not looking that great. The Golden State Warriors are the top team defensively in the league. So targeting these Knicks guys is a little bit dicey for me. We do have confirmation that there's no RJ Barrett tonight, so there's no Derrick Rose still. Mitchell Robinson is listed as questionable in this one, so certainly keep your eyes on that one. If he's out, Taj Gibson, Nerlens Noel could become interesting plays, but then when you go down to them, they're also listed as questionable. So we really don't know about this. Obi Toppin could maybe become an interesting value play on this slate tonight. If for some reason all these guys are ruled out, Obi Toppin's only 3-1. Maybe he's a sneaky guy to kind of have up your sleeve for some late swap exposure late in the night if other people aren't going to play Obi. He, maybe becomes a pretty great play here. So that's something that might be a little bit sneaky in your tournament lineups. But overall, on the Knicks side, Julius Randle's going to get a big bump up with there being no RJ Barrett. I also think we could be really taking a hard look to a Kemba Walker, who does look like a pretty great play in my projection model. He's at a 3.9 price tag. Hasn't been playing the most amount of minutes as of late, but with there being no RJ Barrett, they've got to play someone minutes. I think he gets a tick up here. Quentin Grimes, Alec Burks, Emmanuel Quickly, all those guys with there being no RJ Barrett, looking like decent value plays for me. Like looking at my projection model, Quentin Grimes at 3K looks the best, putting up 0.72 DK points per minute on the season. He's minimum salary. I do think that Quentin Grimes is a pretty intriguing play for some value. Once again, though, we do have a lot of really good minimum salary ranged plays here on the Washington side, etc. So for me, it's he's minimum salary. He really does look good. Kemba Walker at 3.9 looks good. I've only got him projected to play 21 minutes. He still looks pretty solid out there for New York. Just the minutes are really inconsistent. It's a little bit scary. Alec Burks off the bench for me at 4.8. These are all guys you can be taking shots on in your tournament lineups. Mitchell Robinson does look pretty good. But I'm just a little scared. I don't really know that the Knicks can really keep this game close. I don't trust the Knicks minutes. These are tournament plays only for me. If you want to go to Evan Fournier at 5.9 would probably be my favorite play based upon the minutes, the upside, and the usage, and just knowing he's probably going to get 35 minutes. I feel comfortable playing Evan Fournier the most out of all these guys. With there being no RJ Barrett, I think he gets a big bump up. And yeah, he'd probably be my favorite option on the next side. Running it back with the Golden State Warriors. Slow-paced game. They're looking pretty healthy, honestly. I don't really think this is a spot I'm looking to get too much exposure to. You have Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson in, Andrew Wiggins. All those guys are going to be kind of cutting into each other's usage. For me, that's just not too exciting. Jordan Poole at 6'2". Once again, Kevon Looney. These guys all just looking like plays for me. I'm not really looking to prioritize them. I think there's a lot of other good spots on the slate that we've talked about already that I'd much rather be going to. Andrew Wiggins at 6'4", just based on his price tag, looks like a good play to me. But other than that, once again, not getting too excited. Kuminga at 4.3, you could maybe be taking a look to. I think I've got him projected, pretty good here. But once again, I think I'm a little bit heavy on Kuminga. I think just because I'm projecting that this game kind of turns into a blowout, so that's a little bit of a risky projection. But if for some reason he's able to get up there to like 30 minutes or something in a blowout, could be looking a lot better. than some people might be thinking in their projection model. So I'm willing to take a risk there. It's just not, guaranteed that he's going to get those minutes. Last game on the slate, we have Milwaukee taking on the Phoenix Suns. This is going to be the premier game on this slate tonight. By far the best game environment on the slate. It comes with a 233 over-under. It's a 3-point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. We have some heavy usage guys here. We have a close game. Love paying up for Giannis Antetokounmpo on this slate tonight at a 12K price tag, and a game that's expected to stay close. Last game out against the LA Lakers squad, when he got those 35 minutes, 82 DraftKings points. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we know Giannis Antetokounmpo is capable of when he gets those minutes. One of the top fantasy point producers in the league, putting up 1.74 DK points per minute on the season. That's just great stuff. It's really just a matter of whether he gets 30 minutes or whether he gets, 35 to 38 minutes is oftentimes the case with him when it comes to, his fantasy point upside. And with the Phoenix Suns team, that's one of the best teams in the league. Game is expected to stay close. I want to be loading up on some Giannis. We have so much options. We have so many options for value plays on this slate tonight with the Washington side and the Detroit side we talked about earlier in this slate today. So getting up to Giannis should be really easy to do, and I want to make that a big priority for me. Also really like getting to the main usage pieces in this game. So who's out on the Milwaukee side? Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis. Those are the other three you'd really be looking to. 45 DraftKings points and 60 DraftKings points the last two times out for Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton's put up 34 the last two times out. I definitely do prefer Drew Holiday to him, but if you want to pivot to Middleton for ownership in tournaments, I don't hate it. Bobby Portis at 6'8", still a really good fantasy point producer. Still going to be out there in a very fast up-tempo game. Once again, want to be capitalizing on that. Really want to be capitalizing on these four main key guys. I think that Pat Connaughton at 3.5 is looking pretty good here for me in my projection model. So he's another guy. If you want to go to a Pat Connaughton at 3.5, I think he can supply us with quite a bit of upside here tonight with this price tag. Last few times out, he's played 28, 24 minutes. Currently do have Dante DiVincenzo listed as questionable in this one. He was traded to the Kings, so just keep in mind that is not a thing. He's out. Rodney Hood, Semi Ojeleye also traded away, so I do think that there's going to be some more minutes to go around for a Pat Connaughton. That's the reason he's really looking to be a good play for me. And then Grayson Allen as well at a 4.5 price tag. I think those two guys kind of take on more prominent roles, get some more minutes, and look pretty good for me on my projection model. So those are the guys I'll be looking to outside of my main guys. On the Phoenix side, Chris Paul and Devin Booker both look like phenomenal plays. You get Chris Paul at 9.2, Devin Booker at 8.9. Both priced very reasonably for guys that have 50, 60 DraftKings points upside. You're not paying 10K or something for these guys like you are with a lot of other studs on the slate. So I really like those two guys getting exposure there. DeAndre Ayton at 6.6, really reasonable price tag. He was priced all the way up to as much as 7.4 recently. His last two games, he hasn't really had the greatest of performances. But I think it's just a matter of time before he has a big performance. And if there was ever time for him to do so, this game environment. So I'm willing to capitalize on that price tag decrease. Makes a lot of sense for me on this slate tonight. Jay Crowder at 4.4, another guy you could be playing around 30, 35 minutes a game. Looks, always good in my projection model because of that. The minutes are there. The fantasy point production is there. So for me, playing some Jay Crowder, certainly not opposed to that tonight. Putting up 0.75 DK points per minute. I've got him projected to play 27 minutes, which I would say is a pretty modest projection. If anything, he could play, more than that. Like I said, he's been playing more. I like to limit my exposure to Jay Crowder. I am not the biggest fan of Jay Crowder, so I'll just be fully transparent on that. He's a guy he's one of those guys I just can't get right. So, but anyways, still a good play. Not gonna let my own biases dictate, giving you guys advice here. So. That's a game-by-game breakdown there, guys. If you have any questions in the chat, we're going to be talking about FanDuel as well. I just want to make sure I round back to the questions and answer everyone. Bobby Portis Day, B-Day, by the way. All right, man, we could rock with that. Some Bobby Portis birthday exposure. Do you think it's fine if I put Burks and Fournier on the same lineup, or should I only keep one? Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine because Alec Burks comes off the bench. So they're not sharing the floor at the same time. So, Evan Fournier getting a lot of those starting minutes, and then Alec Burks comes with the second unit. So Alex Burks will get all the usage with the second unit. If Evan Fournier's having a big game with the first unit, they're not negatively correlated. So I think that makes perfect sense. If you want to do that, I certainly don't mind it. All right, guys. We're going to talk about FanDuel. Before we do, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you did not know, I do offer a premium content package as well over here on Patreon. I offer a PrizePicks package, a DraftKings and FanDuel package, an NBA combo package. You can get, either the DraftKings and FanDuel one or the PrizePicks one, or if you'd like to get access to both and all three, get the combo package and get that as a discount. So check that out, guys. Patreon.com/KJK_DFS. Going to be linking that in the chat right now. And also, if you have not signed up for Prize Picks is the sponsor of the program, guys. Head on over there, use that promo code KJK DFS, or you can use my link that I'll be putting in the chat right now as well. When you do, you will receive an instant match deposit up to $100. I've also been giving out daily Prize picks on the channel, so check them out, guys. And like I said, if you have any questions in the chat, please do ask them, because I'm going to be going over to FanDuel, going over the slate with you guys on FanDuel, and then we'll round things back. We'll do a Q&A on this one, the overall slate. So if you have questions, don't be shy. But FanDuel, all right, let's talk about it. We talked about DraftKings. Let's talk about some FanDuel, some top plays. A lot of what we talked about over there on DraftKings will apply, but I just, obviously there's going to be some pricing discrepancies. Jeremiah Grant looks absolutely fantastic for me over here on FanDuel. He's only 5'2", putting up 0.99 FanDuel points per minute. Once again, there's no Cade Cunningham in this one. His usage should be through the roof. He hasn't had the biggest of games as of late, but I think it's just a matter of time before he goes out there and puts up, 45, 50 FanDuel points at a 5'2" price tag. You'll be very, very happy with that in your tournament lineup. So I think Jeremiah Grant grades out as a phenomenal play for me on the slate tonight. Really like him. Kyle Lowry at only a 5'4" price tag over here. We mentioned Tyler Hero's listed as questionable in this one. I do think that's going to help Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler quite a bit. And I just think Kyle Lowry is too cheap at a 5'4" price tag. He's someone that's really grading out as a pretty great play for me over here as well. 30 and 31 minutes the last two times out. I know he's working his way back from an injury, but we've seen him reach his way up over those 30-minute mark. And if you take away Tyler Hero, the usage should just go up even more. He's only 5'4". Honestly, he doesn't even have to have the greatest of games to get you there at this price tag on FanDuel. So I like going to him a lot. We talked about Raul Neto. He's going to be one of the top value plays in the slate now. With there being no Spencer Dinwiddie, with there being no Bradley Beal, he's going to climb into that starting point guard position at a 4-1 price tag. He's putting up 0.74 FanDuel points per minute on the season, and he's really good at racking up the steals, where you get the 3 points for blocks and steals on FanDuel. I love targeting a Raul Neto, so I think he's going to be, a phenomenal value play here. Jalen Brunson, we talked about him kind of being a secondary option to a Luka Doncic, but with there being no more Kristaps Porzingis in Dallas, he's once again looking like a great play, and he's very cheap on FanDuel, so he's someone that I'm certainly willing to be looking to on this slate tonight. Loading up on the Toronto guys makes a lot of sense to me over here on FanDuel. We talked about it, but there is going to be, no Fred VanVleet tonight. That's going to be a bump up the usage to all of these Toronto guys. They get a ton of minutes. Their price tags are very reasonable on FanDuel. 6'4" for Scotty Barnes, 6'6" for Gary Trent, 7'8" for OG Anunoby. Willing to get plenty of exposure to them tonight. Really like Pascal Siakam as well, with there being no Fred VanVleet. 10'4" is a big price tag on FanDuel, though, I will say. It's a little bit scary. He does only have the power forward eligibility. We do have a lot of value, so if you get up to him, based upon roster construction, makes sense. A little bit of sticker shock there with Pascal Siakam, but there's no Fred VanVleet. He gets the best possible matchup you could ask for, taking on a Houston Rockets team that ranks dead last in the league defensively. So, if there was ever a time to pay that price tag, tonight would be the time to do so. So if you want to do that, I don't mind whatsoever. Bobby Portis continues to be priced very friendly over here on FanDuel. They just continue to not want to price him up. He's 6'5", in that fast up-tempo game in Milwaukee taking on Phoenix. I'm going to love targeting me some Bobby Portis over here on FanDuel. Only 6'5", similar to a Scotty Barnes. Playing a lot of minutes, really good fantasy point producer. The game environment's there, and it makes a lot of sense to me. So loading up on some Bobby Portis exposure on a site like FanDuel, I definitely do like tonight. Stephen Curry's a lot cheaper over here on FanDuel, so he does great out as a good play. I'm a little bit skeptical on that game staying close, like I talked about earlier, so that's just the scary part of that for me. But Jimmy Butler taking on that New Orleans squad. We talked about him at a 9.2 price tag. He's certainly going to make some sense. If there's no Tyler Hero, he becomes an even greater play here at a 9.2 price tag. I do like that. We talked about Kyle Kuzma now. His usage is going to be through the roof with there being no Bradley Beal, with there being no more Spencer Dinwiddie. Kyle Kuzma is going to be the guy at 7'9". His upside is going to be huge every night. He can be a little bit scoring reliant. Been involved in 2 blowouts, though, against really tough opponents the last 2 times out. So the last 2 times, Miami, Phoenix, those are 2 of the worst matchups you could have. 2 of the top defensive teams in the league. 2 of the best teams in the league. Washington just got blown off the court. So if that's going to lower his ownership, I will gladly be loading up on Kyle Kuzma tonight. I have a feeling with Dinwiddie being dealt out of town, he's probably not going to have the lowest of ownership. But if he does, fantastic. Center position, Julius Randle. There is no RJ Barrett tonight. So, he looks like a better play. I'm a little bit scared. The Golden State Warriors are, the #1 team defensively in the league. I think they could do a good job of shutting him down. But the usage will be there. The upside will be there. Certainly would not call you crazy if you're playing Julius Randle tonight. I can tell you that much. Christian Wood is a run back option in that Toronto-Houston game. If you're loading up on Toronto guys, which I plan to do, I do think it makes quite a bit of sense to run it back with Christian Wood just because if the game's going to stay close, he's probably going to be, a big part of that. I do think it's viable to not run it back just because with these Raptors guys play so many massive minutes as is, and if you just play the cheaper guys, with there being no Van Vliet, they can still certainly get you there. But if I'm getting a ton of exposure, like if I'm getting Siakam and OG and Gary Trent, which I do think is viable, then I think I want to get some run back action with Christian Wood. I just think it makes sense. It's positively correlated. DeAndre Ayton at 7.3, Giannis Valanciunas at 7K, decent center options for me tonight. Steven Adams at 5.8. I mean, Detroit, they're expected to just blow them out. They have a high total. Steven Adams' rebounding efficiency is really high, so I'm willing to take some risks in tournaments. Definitely not my top center in play, but just his price tag and his upside at that price tag makes quite a bit of sense to me. Blake Griffin at 5.2. There's no Claxton in this one. We got confirmation that Claxton's out, and the Nets dealt Paul Millsap. I think James Johnson, De'Aaron Sharp, Blake Griffin start to split these minutes, but I think Blake Griffin is going to be viable if you want to go to him. I don't hate it. Not like I love him or anything. Not like he's one of my top plays on the slate, but just based on his price tag, based upon the moves that this Nets team has made, I think there will be some more minutes to go around for him. Same can be said for Bruce Brown. I talked about him on DraftKings. FanDuel, it's a little bit dicey because of the positional eligibility and stuff and the roster construction, but at a 3.8 price tag, if you want to get more of a star scrubs build, I think Bruce Brown's kind of worth taking some risks on. Caleb Martin, unlikely to play Thursday for the Heat, so that might be some more stuff to go to Max Struss. We talked about that. I think Max Struss and Gabe Vincent might be getting a nice bump up here tonight, with there being no Tyler Hero, with there probably being no Caleb Martin. Tyler Hero remains questionable. So Max Struss might become a thing in our lineups tonight. If you are playing tonight and people aren't quite responding, to this news fast enough, or they're not on top of it, maybe getting a low on Max Struss is something that could be beneficial to you in your tournament lineups tonight, so I don't hate that. And Isaiah Stewart, I don't want to miss out on him. I talked about him on DraftKings. He looks really great over here on FanDuel as well. He has power forward eligibility. He's only 5'8", so I think Isaiah Stewart's a phenomenal play at a 5'8 price tag. He's putting up 0.88 FanDuel points per minute on the season. And his minutes have really ticked up as of late, 32, 31, 32 minutes. I'll take that all day for an Isaiah Stewart. I think it's just a matter of time before he can go out there and put up 45 FanDuel points. He's got to have that in his ceiling eventually here. If he can get you some blocks and some steals, last time out where he had that 30-point game, he was able to get 4 blocks, but he didn't quite come through with the points and rebounds. Last time out, he came through with the points and rebounds, but he didn't really have the blocks and steals. If you can kind of put together the full package here and get some blocks and steals, get some points, get some scoring, all of the above, then, I think he does legitimately have 45 FanDuel point, 50 FanDuel point upside. So I'm definitely willing to go to him, guys. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking to for the most part on FanDuel. The pay-up options I talked about, but I love Giannis. I love Luka now with there being no more Kristaps Porzingis. Those are the two main guys, obviously, that you're going to be looking to pay up for. They're the most expensive, but for good reason. They should be top priorities. Kyrie Irving, don't sleep on him, obviously. With there being no James Harden now, his usage and his upside is going to be huge. A lot more assist upside as well. Devin Booker and Chris Paul, I talked about them in that fast up-tempo game. They're both priced very reasonably. 8.8 for Devin Booker over here on FanDuel. Chris Paul for 9.5. Certainly worth getting exposure to. So loading up on that last game, definitely an interest of mine. And yeah, guys, that's kind of my overall breakdown here, guys. We got 7 likes. We got 22 people in here right now. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, we got to get this thing up over those 20 likes. So we got 22 people, only 7 likes. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload, guys. And if you have any questions, please do let me know in the chat. I will gladly answer them. Take a little bit of a water break here. And if you haven't signed up for the premium content, I would highly encourage you to do so. Patreon.com/KJK_DFS. And you can get access to the Discord chat, my projections, my core plays. I update all that stuff right after I get off the stream. So Fresh says, lock, question mark. I don't have a lock of the night, man, because I didn't make a video earlier. But I can try to help you guys out and just give you one on the fly. I mean, I don't know, man. There's a lot of good plays on this slate tonight. If I had to pick a lock, based upon the price tag on both websites, It's kind of a loaded question, to be honest, on this one. I mean, I think there's a lot of really obvious plays is the thing. And Dodge says, I def smash the like. Great stuff as always. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dodge. Jigga says, lock of the night. Yeah, man, I know you guys like the lock of the night. I don't know, man. Putting pressure on me. My lock of the night, man. I don't want to do like an obvious one, like a Giannis or a Luka. Kyrie, there's no James Harden now, so he's a great play, but that seems kind of obvious to me. I don't know, man. There's just so many good plays. Honestly, if I had to pick a lock of the night, I'd probably go with Gary Trent Jr. For the Toronto Raptors. He's 6'5" over here on FanDuel. On DraftKings. On FanDuel, he's 6'6". And there's no Fred VanVleet tonight. He's going to take on the point guard responsibility. He's already a guy that gets a lot of buckets, as is. He does a lot of scoring. But I think with there being no Fred VanVleet, that's really going to increase his assist upside. And the price tag really isn't up enough. The matchup, like I said, literally the best possible matchup you could ask for. So if I had to pick a lock of the night off the top of my head, I think I'm going to go with Gary Trent, 6'6" on FanDuel, 6'5" on DraftKings. And I'm going to be loading up on some Gary Trent tonight, so he's definitely someone that I would highly encourage you guys to be getting lots of exposure to. So Gary Trent will be my live stream on the spot lock of the night. Don't have an official, my graphic and all the fun stuff of me going in with the music, but yeah, I like Gary Trent a lot on both websites. The price tag's there, the matchup's there, the usage bump is there with no Fred VanVleet. He's going to be the full package tonight. The minutes are there, obviously, with this solidified Toronto Raptors rotation. So, yeah, man, I love me some Gary Trent tonight. He would be my lock of the night. And that's what I'm going to be taking advantage of, some Gary Trent. So if you have any questions, guys, please do let me know in the chat. If you don't, I'll probably bounce out of here, update my projections, my core plays, answer any questions in the Discord chat for my premium content members. But if you have any questions, please do ask them in the chat. I would love to answer them. If you don't, you can hit that like button before you head out. We can wrap things up here. And I got to update all that other stuff like I was talking about. So, yeah, man, we're feeling good. We're feeling good about this slate tonight. And I think we have some really good value. I think it's going to be kind of stars and scrubsy, but that's, I'm not complaining. I will gladly take that. And that's going to be kind of where my head is at tonight, guys. And that's what I'm going to be looking to. So that is what I'm going to be looking to. No question, just wanted to say Sabonis looked amazing on the Kings. Yeah, I like Domantas Sabonis, man. I like his game. He's fun to watch. He's really crafty inside. He's got a soft touch. He's good at passing out of the post. So I think he's a pretty good pickup for them. And I don't know if he gets talked about a lot around the league. He's really good. So I definitely like Sabonis' game. And yeah, I think they got a good one there. So certainly a good pickup for them when it comes to Domantas Sabonis. Larry says, "Do you like Barnes?" I'm assuming you're meaning Scotty Barnes. And yes, I absolutely do like Barnes. He's priced very reasonably on both websites. There's no Fred VanVleet. He's going to get a lot of minutes. He gets the best possible matchup you could ask for, taking on a Houston Rockets team that ranks dead last in the league. So yeah, I like all the Toronto main guys today. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. And Barnes is one of those main guys. So yes, I do like Barnes a lot. And yeah, guys. Any more questions? I'm going to hang out here for another, 4 minutes or so probably, just to make sure I answer any questions. If you have anything you want me to touch on, if you want me to loop back to, top plays on FanDuel or something, or DraftKings, let me know in the chat. I'll be hanging out here till 6:15 p.m. Eastern, so that's 4 more minutes. Anything else you guys want? This is pretty much the request part of the program. Sign up for PrizePicks, guys. Use that promo code KJK DFS if you haven't already. Sign up for the premium content if you'd like to get more involved. And also, follow me over on Twitter and follow me on all my social media, guys. I always forget to say that, but you can get much more involved. I'm always tweeting at KJK_DFS. I'm on all social media. I got them on my overlay. It seems like people don't really read that overlay. They still ask me, what are my socials? It says it all right there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's all right there on the overlay. And if you do want to follow me over on Twitter at KJK underscore DFS, I appreciate it. I'm starting to do some more Twitter Spaces where I'm talking to the community guys, and I have some really good opportunities with some of my sponsors that I really want to share with you guys. Prize Picks, one of them, so I'm constantly giving you guys Prize Picks. But I got some more going on with Super Draft, some other sponsors you guys might have heard of on the channel, and I'm really trying to. If you guys want to make a full-time living off of fantasy sports and sports betting, you need to go on Twitter at KJK underscore DFS or any of my social media and DM me, because I'm trying to really help people out here. Turning the fantasy sports landscape into a full-time job. Like, I've been getting some people are contacting me saying they're losing so much money on DraftKings and FanDuel, they just can't figure it out. Obviously, my content is to help you guys with that. But I do have some other opportunities I'd really like to inform you of. If you like DraftKings, if you like FanDuel, if you like fantasy sports and you like sports betting, and you would like to make a full-time living off talking about it, playing those games, and sharing stuff with others, I have an opportunity for you. So please send me a message on social media, and I will gladly help you out with that. Would love to help you out. I'm planning on making a full-time income from it myself, a good full-time income. That's what I've been working so hard towards, so I want to share the love. And anyone out there that's willing to network, willing to work hard, and willing to talk about something they love, sports, man, I got an opportunity for you. So talk to me on socials, hit me up there. And yeah, guys, I think we're feeling pretty good about this slate. I'm gonna head on over to the premium content, update those projections, and looking forward to it. So if you enjoyed this stream, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit that like button before you head out. And I appreciate you guys tuning in today. So we will see you in the next one. I'm going to bounce out of here. And good luck tonight, guys.